Welcome to the explanation of the Ferlin SQL extraction tool. In order to extract all the data, we have a special SQL tool from Ferlin which we run on the IPC or on the server where the FerlinBridge is installed. In order to open it, just go to the IP address. In this case, this unit, and then go to the address 5555. As soon as you run this, you will open a Ferlin SQL screen. In this screen you can see how many graph mixes are connected, what the total weights are, and the total batches it has been doing through the FerlinBridge. For now we want to focus on one machine or one production order. I've been running production before, and these batches we can search, for example, on a machine number, which is the node number, number 4. You can see all the data he has been storing, which is 838 batches. So if I limit it to only today, you'll see that the number will be much less, only 58, and here you can see all kinds of data. The nice thing about the SQL is that you can also search, for example, on reference. First switch to English. If I go to the FerlinBridge, here I can see that I've got a batch reference on this machine. So on the Ferlin Blender 2503. So if I go and search for this reference 2503, you'll notice that we don't have anything. Because I have 3503. 2503. Why isn't my 2503? Now you see all the batches done with reference 2503. In this way I can easily find back what I've done per order. So for now you can see that the first one started at 10:39:01. So if I only want to have everything later than, for example, 10:40, I can put in here from 10:40 onwards. So now you see that the first one is 10:40, and if I want to limit it to let's say 10:45, I can put here 10:45. Sorry, 45:00 also today. And then you'll see that it's from 10:40, which is the first one, to the last one, 10:45. There's no other data than this. In this way I can select the data. Now I can also export my selection by pressing the download button, and it downloads a CSV file. If I press this and you've got Microsoft Excel installed, it will open, and here you can see all the data of these batches. You can see what time it was done, 10:40. You can see that component 1, everything is 0, so you know nothing has done with component 1. But if we look at component 2, you can see there is a request of 54% and a dosage of 53.83%. And this component was dosed at 10:40. And in this way you can extract all the data from this production. You can also get the totals from this period, so in this case you can see what it done in production. So if I put this, let's say, with a quick, I want to know the sum. I did 4.221 kilograms in that period. So this is a rather easy way to get your data out of your system. I will not do that. Yeah, just don't store it. But there are some other things. So for example, you can go for the components And with the same selection I can say I want to know what I did in component 3, which in this case was the 2% component. And also here I can ask for a download, and again I can open this of course in Excel, and then I don't get only the data which is shown here in the screen, but you get some extra information. Not really here. If you want to, for example, make some kind of trend line, you can easily do it with these things, and you can say, okay, I want a little bit of different scale, then you can do whatever you want to do with it. But our Ferlin SQL features also trend lines, and in this way I can just show here the trend line we were talking about before, but I can also add the number 2 and the number 4 component. So now I can see all my components in trend lines on the screen. For example, I think this is this one is the one where I say, okay, this is a result which I don't like, or is there something wrong there? So I can see this is showing number 30, which is the batch ID. So if I would go through to the batches and I export them and I say show them to me, and we set batch ID number 30, there we have some values I don't like. So we go here and we see here that it's this one. So we can see what happened, and we can see if there's something going on dramatically or not, and what time this happened and what it did. So you can of course also school everyone and say, you know what, when we run a production, you have to put in, if I go back to the FerlinBridge, we have to put in a batch reference, which is our order number. For example, X, Y, Z. And when you say OK, now every batch it will run, it will store this in this SQL. So if I start the Blender, it will start production. And now I can go to the SQL and I can say, you know what? Of course I have not to stop at 1046 because we are running after that. So if I delete this one and I delete this one, I got everything. But instead of 2503, I will now want to see X, Y, Z. There you can see until now it done one batch. So if we open it later, we will see that it done more batches. And here you can see the ratios. What was asked, what was dosed. What was asked, what was dosed. For the test we use some difficult material to dose so that you have a lot of variation, so you can see some movement in the trend lines. So again, if I go to the trend lines, I can see here that now it already done 3 batches. So I've got 3 results in the line, and in this way you can also follow, not live but relatively easy, what's going on right now. I know that the number 2 hopper is the one with the additive, so we can see it started at 2.13, then it did 2.04, and then it did 2.01. So this is a very quick way to check what's going on. If I don't want to see what I want to see the component 2, what's going on. You see if it's only this one, the scale is automatically adjusted so that you have a better overview of what's going on. If you put 3 with it, then the scale gets bigger because here it's 2 and there it's the bigger one. You could also choose to show the set values, and then you can see what the set value was. The set value was 54, actual 53.3. Here it is a little bit more difficult now to see what you've done because of the scaling. So if you switch off 2, then you get a better scaling. You can see the asked ratio and what it did. In this way you can very quickly get all your data. So important in the FerlinBridge, use batch reference, and with this reference you can really easy make all kinds of overviews and extractions from your data. But still, if you don't use the reference, But you say, now I want to know what we did today, and we just started. I want to know what we did since 1 o'clock today. You'll see that this is what we've done from 1 o'clock till, for example, if we go to today, but then till 2 o'clock. Then you can see that there's no difference, because there's till 3 o'clock or to 2 o'clock. You can see what you've done in this 1 hour in production. And also, if I go back to components, I can see again what was all the components. I can see at summary that in this time I made 10 batches in this 1 hour. I did a 0.049 kilograms of this additive. My minimum value was 2, my maximum was 2. You can see actually my 1.9 and 2.13 with an average of 2.0. And again, trend lines, you can see the trend line of what it did. I hope this gives you a good explanation of what can be done with the Ferlin SQL. Thank you very much.